Hi, I decided to make this video this morning to address a user called petcondelBusted. You see, I've been watching a couple of Pat's videos recently, and all I can say is that I'm quite disappointed. I would like to apologise to Islam on behalf of the West. Not all of us are as naive and stupid and, set in our ways as this deluded lunatic. Basically, the thing that really annoyed me is the fact that he generalised people so much. Okay, he's generalised Muslims and just said, oh, they're like this, and all of us in the West, we don't like you. Well, all I can say is, I live in the West, I was born in the West, I was brought up in the West, and to be honest, I've lived in the West my entire frickin' life. Alright? And, I've never had a problem with Islam. And, I know some lovely Muslim people. They're really, really nice and, they don't beat their wives, as he says, Not everybody is the same. How dare you tar people with the same brush, just because of their religion? That's insanity. And you stand there, generalising, saying, oh, all of the West are behind me. Well, that's not true, Pat. A very, very small percentage of very ignorant people are behind you. You may have a lot of supporters, a lot of followers, but, that's what you're saying is, it's a load of bollocks, Yes, I know about all of the bloody incidents you're bringing up. I mean, you talk about rape in Muslim countries, and yet, rape happens over here, and it's not Muslims that are doing it. There are some Christians who are rapists. There are some atheists who are rapists. A rapist is a rapist. It doesn't depend on their religion. You can't generalise people and just say everybody is like this, because it's not true. Alright? That's like saying you and me are the same person. Look, I don't hate you. I think that you've grown very old and very set in your ways. And for some reason, you've got a major grievance against a group of people. What I'm trying to do with this video is just say, please, for once in your life, try and think outside of the very narrow-minded box that you live in, and just say, actually, no, there are just a group of people doing this, Because there are people who do things, commit terrorist acts and stuff, and they are from religious groups, but it's not all of them. And the second that you stand there and you say, it's everybody in this group that's doing it, and incite all of that hatred against the group, people listen to you, alright? You got a huge following full of people, and they're listening to you, and they're listening to your warped distortion of reality. And, the people that I know, they aren't like the people that you bring up. They're good people. They're honourable people. They're kind people. You've got your major problems with all of these different groups of people, and what you need to do is you need to get out of that box, and you need to just start saying, oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. I shouldn't be saying this. There are groups of people who do these things, but they aren't, and they may be doing it because of their beliefs or whatever, but it doesn't mean everybody's like that, okay? Because that's like saying you and me are the same person. If I was to generalise like that and say, oh, everybody in the West agrees with me on my statements, and they all don't agree with you, petcondelBusted, because I say so, that doesn't make me right. And a lot of people are going to disagree with this video. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sit here, and I'm trying to be a small voice of reason and just say to you that not everybody is like how you're building them up to be. I don't like what you're doing. You are spreading hatred for a community. People could go out there, and they could have a problem with people who are from these backgrounds, and they could base that entirely on what you've said, alright? And they could think, oh, everybody is like this. Grow up. Seriously, how old are you? You should know by now. You should have seen enough in your bloody life to realise. I'm 26 years old, alright? Yeah, I know I may have a lot to learn. You know, I might not be the smartest person in the world. I don't claim to be. But I don't think that you can sit there and say, oh, all of us here in the West, we believe this. When, quite frankly, it's a load of crap. Because that's not true. And you know what? I reckon that there will be a couple of people who watch this and they will think, you know, maybe this guy has a point. Maybe you are generalising a bit too much. Because that's what you're doing. It's stupid. What you need to do is you need to say, there are people in this world who are good, and there are people in this world who are bad. Now, people in this world who are bad do bad things, right? And they will do them whether they've got religion to do them for, or, you know, they've got their own personal beliefs, or whatever. They've got an excuse for some reason. They'll find an excuse. You know, it could be religion. It could be because they don't like a new film, you know, or whatever. You know, one day they could just suddenly snap and do terrible things. All right? There are people in this world who are jerks. And there are people in this world who are monsters, and they all do their horrible things to each other, and they do horrible things to nice people, alright? But anything could be a reason. You know, heck, I like sci-fi. You know, I could all of a sudden decide, because I watched an episode of Star Trek or whatever, to go out and kill a load of people because I watched that episode of Star Trek, you know, for whatever reason. You know, and that's just as nonsensical as what you're saying, you know. It's an instance of someone doing something that is bad because they want to do horrible things, and they will do it, whether they've got a religion behind them, or whether they've got nothing behind it. They will just go out and be destructive, because that is what that person is like. And yes, there are people who use religion, and they use little groups and cults and whatever the hell they use. You know, political groups like UKIP, you know, sorry, keep the tripod there. Political groups like UKIP, and, you know, they'll just get everyone riled up, full of hatred and anger for no fucking reason, and they will just stand there and just insult the world, insult the human race by doing terrible things, you know. And you know what? It doesn't matter what these people believe, you know, whether they believe it or not, because it's irrelevant. And the reason it's irrelevant is because not all of them are the same. There are people out there who do really good things because of their religion, you know. I've known Christians who've gone out there and they've been like, oh, I was a horrible person, you know, then I converted to Christianity, and I see the world in a different way now, you know. I don't know any Muslims who've done that, but all of the Muslims that I've met are very nice people, you know. I mean, heck, I've only met one Sikh, he's a nice person. You know, there are loads of different groups of people that you've probably never met in your life, and you live wearing your rose-tinted lenses, and you just sit there and you preach all of this stuff, and you're like, all of these people are evil. Well, they're not, alright? You have got a lot of growing up to do, Pat. I know you're probably never going to watch this, but, you know, maybe some people one day will stumble across it and think, you know, maybe they'll start to think for a bit. Because, in fact, what you're doing is you're just generalising your entire audience and saying, well, I and my audience that support me are for this. We are for this hatred of Islam, okay? That's what you're saying. You're saying, I and my audience are for this sort of thing, and we think that this group of people are bad. And some people are going to go out there and they're going to, you know, they're going to spread the hate around and stuff. And you know what? At the end of the day, some poor sod is going to get it in the neck, you know, because, I don't know, he's got, like, he's got like an excessive tan or whatever, you know, and who knows, at the end of the day it may turn out he's not even a Muslim, you know, and some group of people have just gone and pulverised him for no reason, just because you've been like, oh, he's in Islam, he's a Muslim, so he does this. He's just, I mean, you might as well just say, you know, everybody with dark skin, you know, is a Muslim. You might as well say every human being is a Muslim, because we're generalising now. You shouldn't generalise, it's stupid. You can only ever judge people by the merits of that single sole person. Because if you don't, you're just treading water in a pool full of sick. And I know that I sound like I'm rambling, and that's probably because I've been listening to too much of your shit. Because that's all you do, is you just ramble. And yeah, you throw a load of facts out there and you're like, oh, these are incidents of this happening. Where are the incidents of good things happening from these people? Because they are there. But people don't give a damn about that sort of stuff. They just want to make, you know, they just want to make chaos in the world, because people enjoy suffering. I think you enjoy suffering, and that's why you make your videos. You just speak hate. You're a disgrace to the West. You're a disgrace to the human species, and you need to grow the fuck up, sir, because I tell you what, I'm younger than you, alright? I don't have your life experience. But, fucking hell, I don't immediately just gravitate to you. If anything, you've put me off of your views, because you've been so narrow-minded. Anyway, I think this has gone on long enough. See you. Whatever. Take care. Please, just stop being such an idiot. Thank you for watching, if you've bothered to watch this to the end. I know that it's probably a waste of your time and all that shit, but, you know, well, there we go. It's out there. Bye.